Hey guys, it's me. I looks like I haven't been on here in 5 months, so I just wanted to update um some people with the situation. There was a couple people that did follow my story. I was looking at my last video to see how far or what exactly I updated. So last time I updated, I had the shot. However, a couple days after that, I ended up my tube actually burst. I had internal bleeding, a lot of internal bleeding. I was home with my daughter and my dogs, and um, something felt wrong. I joined the Facebook Ectopic group, and so a lot of people had warned me like what your symptoms were when your tube burst, stuff like that. I had a lot of dull pain, upper back. You feel like you got to go to the bathroom. And I just didn't feel right. I had my gallbladder inflamed before, and it kind of felt similar to that. And anyway, which way I twisted and turned, it was just something wasn't comfortable about it. So I ended up going to the hospital where this is all in the midst of COVID. So everything the procedures had changed on like how they admit you and stuff. And um, so I just remember like I had a hoodie. I was getting hot and cold super fast. I told the guy like I need assistance taking it off, and I was just already slumming over. I told my mom and them. My mom met me to pick up my daughter. I left my car in the parking lot, and then I just knew something was wrong. I already had called my doctor and said, "Hey, what do I do?" And then I said, "Oh, hey, like I'm on my way there." I couldn't handle it no more. Um, so it's just like super uncomfortable. I literally like just knew something was wrong. I was just hot and weak, very, very weak. I felt like I couldn't just breathe. I just kept texting my mom and my husband and just saying, take care of my daughter if anything happens. I love them. Um, they made me go back for an ultrasound. I was too weak to even do it. Then I had to go to the bathroom, and I just kept telling them like something was wrong. By the time they're wheeling me back into the room from getting the ultrasound, the doctor said they already called and said you're having internal bleeding. Let me call your doctor to see what's the next step. And I knew, like, I already had told him, like, because I had been there like for like the whole week in and out. I said, I think I'm on tube burst. So what pissed me off is that they're just like, whatever, they're changing shifts. And then they closed the door. And I'm like, okay, if I'm slumped in my chair over here, like, what the how are you gonna know that? Like, so I opened the door back up because I'm like, bitch, if I'm dying, like, you need to make sure. So not even 5 minutes, and my doctor's already there and saying, we gotta go back now. Like, we gotta go. So they went to another room. I see them, somebody passed away. I see them well a body out, and I'm just like out of it. And she's telling me, like, look, we're probably gonna have to take your tube out. I'll do what I can. And I told her, look, I don't care. Do what you gotta do as long as I'm alive to take care of my daughter, that's all I care about. Whatever you gotta take out, I'm good. Um, and then I threw up everywhere, lasagna. And then they're asking me all these questions because they have to put me under. So then I get willed to the anesthesia room before OR operating room. And they're just looking at me and kind of like la 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 la, and really moving slow. And then she came in and she was pissed off. She was a little firecracker. And she was like, "No, I done told y'all we gotta go back now, like now." And so I remember went into the operating room. They asked me like, "When'd you eat?" Blah blah, and I said, "I've had surgery before. I had my gallbladder removed here." Um, and then I just remember like the anesthesiologist was in there, and I was like, "Oh, you smell good." My humor was still there. And then I remember she was getting, my doctor was like telling this, and they're, like you could tell she was on a mission. And so I just, there was nobody that could be there in the waiting room for you. So all I could do was tell my mom, like, my doctor's going to call you afterwards or before or whatever. Um, so I wake up and I'm like, my throat hurts, my throat hurts. What the hell's going on? Because we're in the middle of COVID. And the nurse is like, no, 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 you had a tube in your throat. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm like in an elevator, and then it's nighttime, and I ended up back in the maternity ward. And I was like, what happened? And they're like, we had you had your tube removed, like everything was removed. And I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" I'm just like, "What?" And so I see my phone's there. I was able to talk to my mom. She said by then, the doctor had called her, and the doctor said, "I'll call you. She'll be able to call you when she wakes up." So, it was just a crazy experience. I got to hear some more babies being born and crying in the next room. I was only over there overnight. A lot of pressure, very similar to my gallbladder removal, but a lot of bruising. I had 3 scars, like a upside down triangle. Um, and she came and checked on me. She was like, "You got to follow up, blah blah." Um, it was just a trip. Like after everything, she said, "We try to save your tube," like, and I understood like completely. I wasn't angry about that as long as I was alive. But I just kept telling everybody like I was super weak. Um, And she said, "You lost so much blood." Oh, because she had warned me, like, "You might need a blood transfusion. We need you to sign off on this." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "But there's a lot of risk involved." And so when she explained afterwards, she didn't want to do the blood transfusion because there's so much things that could go wrong. But she's like, "You're gonna need iron supplements. Now you can take your vitamins and stuff." Because on methotrexate, you can't take folic acid. And she's like, "Now you can take everything, but you're gonna need a lot of recovery time." And so, um it was just crazy, but that's my latest update. I have only 1 tube left, so if anything happens to this one, it's not meant to be, I guess. I don't know what to say. Um, I've been off I was on iron medication for 3 months. Now I'm on a natural supplement because I still feel like after I got off of that, I still feel like I couldn't breathe half the time or couldn't function because I'm so drained. I've probably gained some more weight, to be honest, but this whole thing in the middle of COVID has just been like, "What?" Um, you know, Now my cycles are really off. I still have my ovary there, both ovaries. She wanted to remove one, but she said she would wait. I still have a dermoid cyst on the other ovary. So I just wanted to update everybody. That's where we're at. No baby, no nothing. One less tube. Even after methotrexate, you could still burst and almost die like me, but I'm alive. Yay. So, bye guys.